Picture this, I'm a bag of dicks, put me to your lips. I am sick, I will punch a baby bear in his shit. Give me lip, I'ma send you to the yard. Get a stick, make a switch, I can end the conversation real quick. I am crack, I ain't lying, kick a lion in this crack. I'm the shit, I will fall off in your crib. Take a shit, hit your mama on the booty, kick your dog, fuck your bitch. That boy dressed up like you sound.
Fuck to the yeah. A little DR, is that a little DRZ? What is that? DRZ. Street triple. Oh shit, this is the 1050. I thought this was the 675. Yo, this is the 1050? I didn't know that. I thought it was a 675. Oh, that explains the height thing. Guess now would be a bad time to tell you I've never ridden a Triumph. Good gravy. Alright. Yeah. Oh, this thing sounds awesome. Oh, jeez. God, what a sound. Oh, it's like ecstasy right now. Wow, I have never heard a bike sound like this before. Oh, I need gas. I'll pop some fuel. Oh wait, it just went from empty to full. Are you shitting me? Oh, it's my color too, gold. God, I am in love with this sound. Oh, this thing's crazy. Holy crap. Man, I gotta be careful, dude. This thing just decided it wanted to burn. Now these are inline 3s, am I not mistaken. I believe these are inline 3s rather than your classic inline 4. I normally don't like fairingless bikes. They generally scare me, right? There's just something about them that throws me off. I think it's not having all of this on a sport bike chassis, and this is a big mama jamma bike. Oh, dude, my heart is melting right now. Oh, what a sound this thing has. I can't even concentrate, man. All right, so like I said, I normally don't ride fairingless sport bikes. They tend to throw me off. I don't like them as much, especially with the whole wind factor. You know, you get beat around by wind pretty hard. And this thing is surprisingly, it's comfortable. Holy crap. It's surprisingly comfortable to sit on. Like I can barely touch with my feet. I barely touch. The pops are turning me on. And here's the thing, man. I'm not a Triumph fanboy to say the least. I normally don't even screw around with Triumphs, just because like I don't have a lot of experience with them, you know. I mean, they do everything kind of weird. Inline 3s versus your inline 4s or V-twins. I understand why Chase likes his Daytona so much now. God, this seat is so comfortable. All right, I got to get my bearings together and talk about this bike a little bit. So far, there's a lot of bikes that you can hop on and just kind of know what the bike's about right off the start. And it's happening before. Like the Hayabusa, I knew what that bike was about before I got on. And then there's bikes that throw me off, like the ZX14. That bike threw me off. The GSX-R 1000. That bike threw me off. Because like you have it in your head how they're gonna handle and how they're gonna work and how they're gonna ride and sound and feel. But then they're slightly different than what you thought, and it kind of creates for a more enjoyable experience. But this is not at all what I had pictured. The last fairingless bike that I was on a Suzuki SV650. Not the one from way back in the day. I've ridden several of them. I've ridden several 650s, and I've ridden even the SV1000s, and those bikes are phenomenal little torque monsters. And those aren't really fairingless bikes either. You know, they have fairings on them. They're not just completely bald though. Like this bike is completely bald. Because I was like, you know what I haven't done? I haven't ridden a street triple. I've never ridden one of those. But man, was I not prepared for what this bike had to offer. And that's just me on my first initial response to it. I gotta do some more riding on this thing. Now what I do on this bike, since I'm not very height friendly, I one foot it at stoplights. So one foot goes all the way down, the other foot stays resting on the bike. because that's what's comfortable for me. Now, I just realized that my helmet is all gold, basically, and then the bike itself is gold. I love it. Oh, man. What a crazy sounding bike. It's certainly not the fastest bike I've ever ridden. Don't let me try to play it off like I'm super impressed by the power, but I'm impressed by the experience of the bike so far. Just the sound and the feel of it. Because at first it has a down low Honda Civic sound. You know, like that kind of like that raspy, like that sound. But you get past that and it turns into this like, oh. And here's the thing, it sounds like a mixture between an FZ07 and a CBR 600. That's what it sounds like to me. If like you're to kind of cross breeds, and that's because, you know, the FZ07's at inline 2. I think, yeah, it's an inline 2 motor, so it still has that like poppy sound from the inline, but it also still has that like high sound like way up there like an inline 3. Oh, I could listen to that all day. I should probably figure out where I'm at. Oh, honestly, like, I hated the color at first. I didn't like the gold, but now that I realize that I matched my helmet with it, like, holy tits. It's the tits. This bike is the tits. This is one of those bikes, you know, I every now and again I'll ride a bike that I just, like, I could see myself riding, and this is one of them. The torque and the power is great. The acceleration's good. I just want to know how it feels in the turns. Some little twisties. It sounds like there's something up in my ear right now, to be honest. I just felt like maybe there's an ant or something, maybe a spider biting my ear. Shouldn't wheelie this bike though. It doesn't feel like a bike that you want to wheelie. Something about it doesn't really sit right with me when I wheelie it. I'm sure if done right, these things are wheelie monsters. Oh, am I really going 80? Holy crap. I don't know if it's because it's missing the fairings, but this bike doesn't feel like you're going as fast as you are. Like, I don't feel like I'm going 80 on this thing. Look at that pearl. That's a beautiful paint job. Very rarely, I think, do I get just absolutely flabbergasted by a bike, if I can say that without sounding like an idiot. But this has certainly been one of those bikes that has just surprised me, like it's just wasn't ready for what this bike was. You know what I can kind of compare it to? Suzuki has those 1290 upright sitting, basically Hayabusa motors in them. What are they called? The Suzuki, I can't remember the name of the bike right now. But it's like a 1290, I think, that's in it, and it's in an upright position. A lot of people, oh my gosh, dude, why do you keep stopping at yellow lights? The Suzuki 1290, what is that thing? That's like a Street Fighter style. I can't remember the name of the bike right now, I apologize. But it feels a lot like those, except this seems to feel, and it's probably just because of the engine difference, but it feels a lot lighter. Bandit, it's a Suzuki Bandit. Oh my god. Yeah, it feels a lot like the Suzuki Bandit, except more lightweight, more nimble, I guess, if I had to put words into it. And another thing is that the bike seems to have really soft and very forgiving suspension. It's got a really just interesting feel, and it probably has to do with that single-sided swing arm too. I love that. Now the thing is that I want to drive kind of like a hooligan on this bike, but I feel like it's really big. Height-wise, width-wise, I mean, like, length-wise, it all feels really wide because you got a lot of wideness down here. I do want to drive fast and weave, but I'm not sure if I can. I want to buy this bike alone just for the sound. I don't think I've ever heard a bike sound that good before. I won't lie, I was actually quite nervous at first to ride this bike, but I'm glad that I did now. Brakes are really good. I'm just kind of jolting the brakes. Ah, those are so good. Hey, nice. I mean, if you like Huracans. What bothers me is how easy this bike is to ride. I figured that this thing would be a little bit more fighty. And I'm really not a big fan of this front end on it. It looks kind of awkwardly placed, you know? It's held together by one large steel bracket. Awkward looking. But other than that, I mean, it looks great. this is a bike you could ride in some turns too. Maserati, or is that a Jag? Oh, now this is what I needed right here. Decelerating coming into turns is the best part about this bike. What a great bike. I know that wasn't much of a test, you know, like this is probably the closest turny road that I have. I don't want to be riding balls out on a bike that's not mine. Couple wheelies, couple turns, just kind of get a feel for the bike and kind of put a better assessment. I have to adjust my wrists a lot on this bike because of the position of the handlebars, but my seating position's upright, my back feels good. What's up, dude? Oh, it's that girl again. Hey girl, I know you see this car, this bike, all gold everything. Call me Trinidad, baby. Yeah. I'd be nervous about doing a burnout on this bike just because I don't have enough like touch to kind of push the front wheel down. I'd have to rely solely on that front brake and tire. What are you doing? What are you doing? Is you stupid or is you dumb? Let's race. Yeah, come on. Oh, let's do a quick race.
I'm fast, but I'm not fast enough.
This is a small bike, small bike. I like the color, man. Sounds real good, man. I like it. I don't know, man. I think that he could have taken me. I don't know how fast the new GTs are, but I think he had a chance. He definitely had a chance, since this is geared differently. Especially if we got over 100 miles an hour. Oh, he'd pull on me like I was nothing. Hey, that's a Layla edition. Huh? Hey.
I was just talking about something.
Oh shit. Let's go, man. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I watched your videos too.